is Teresa Perkins, editor and host of Exposure, Spotlight Magazine and Talk Show, where your voice matters. If you have a business, event, project, or even written a book and would like to be featured in Exposure Spotlight Magazine or be a guest on our show, you want to give us a call at 1-855-828-7200. Again, that number is 1-855-828-7200. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Hey, it's your girl Loni Love, your host for the 6th Annual Black Music Honors, celebrating American soul with tributes to Marvin Sapp, Genuine, Angie Stone, performances by CeCe Winans, After 7, Montel Jordan, and more. The 6th Annual Black Music Honors, because our music matters.
We are very excited about the 2021 Black Music Honors, and this virtual press conference will give you a chance to talk to some extremely talented individuals who will be a part of the evening. But I would like to begin by introducing you to the man who had the vision of making this happen, who understood just how important it is for us to pay tribute to our own culture and heritage. Don Jackson is the founder and executive producer of Black Music Honors. It is an annual 2-hour event that acknowledges the legendary African-American artists who've influenced and made significant musical contributions to African-American culture and to American music worldwide. The show is produced by his Chicago-based production company, Central City Productions, and Don is the executive director of this 6th Annual Black Music Honors, hosted by radio and television personality Loni Love. Don, could you talk just a little bit about why you started this award and how you're feeling today as the idea has really taken hold and we're going to have such an incredible show this year?
Well, thank you, Pat. It's just a pleasure to be here and talk about this show. You know, we say 6th annual, but I did this show some 30 years ago in Los Angeles. It was called Celebrate the Soul of American Music. And at that time, we honored Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Little Richard, Cab Calloway, the OJs. I just loved the opportunity to give these artists, these icons, their awards while they were with us. And many of the folks I just mentioned passed on. So I revived it 6 years ago to say we have to have another show, and we changed the title from Celebrate the Soul of American Music to Black Music Honors. And it's such a delight to get to do this and know individuals, get to know them and their background, to hear what they're doing now. So it is a pleasure. It's one of the shows that we do. Now, we've been around 50 years, so we also do the Stellar Awards, but this is really one of our shows that I take to heart. It was a pleasure this one here to hear Genuine name his 9 kids right off the bat. And you know, hear some of the other artists' personal stories, to get a chance to see the National Museum of African American Music and what they've done. And I would just encourage, it was just a wonderful setting and an opportunity to do that. So I'm pleased that it's what it is today. I love Loni Love for coming forth and putting her great talents behind the show, and all of the honorees that we were honored to get into their lives, understand their background. It just really was remarkable. Angie Stone, to hear about one of her first groups and that history that she had. My friend also, Ramsey Lewis, who helped me to get started years ago. Marvin Sapp, in the gospel music community, we sort of introduced him to television. So it's a pleasure to be able to come back and celebrate these icons and hear from them. The video clips that we were able to do, we go into their background, and I'm just so honored to say that this is one of our flagship shows that we have in national syndication that's going to air in over 200 markets around the country. So it's a delight to see the growth that it has had, especially in these times, and our ability to go into Nashville and make it happen, even despite COVID, and have a safe environment to do the award show. So I want to thank all of those just beautiful honorees that we had and the contributions that they have made to music overall.
And Don, we want to thank you, I mean, really on behalf of the entire Black community, for all the great work that you do in lifting us up and giving us a platform to be shown. And certainly for putting together this outstanding class of honorees. And before we bring them on, I just wanted to just give you a moment once again to say whatever you'd like to say about some of your upcoming events that you have, upcoming productions that are happening, and ways that people can assist you in continuing this most important work that you're doing with Central City Productions.
Well, I want to be brief because I want to get to these great honorees that we have. Where you see Stellar TV there, we're launching Stellar TV in February of 2022. That'll showcase more of our shows: Stellar Awards, Black Music Honors, Mentoring Kings, Stellar Tribute to the Holiday. We're currently working right now on Stellar Awards, and we're going to be back in the city of Nashville at the Symphony Hall. So we're busy, and it's great to be busy, where we will have an audience as well, and that's what our intent is, to do a live production of what we're doing. So I want to thank all of the support that we've gotten from the media, and all of the media that are waiting to ask these honorees some questions. So thank you very much for coming, and let's get the show going, please.
All right, thank you so much, Don. Let's meet our honorees now. I first want to mention up front that Marvin Sapp will be joining us in just a little while. He is making a Herculean effort to be a part of this. He's got a doctor's appointment this morning, but will be with us momentarily. Also, Ramsey Lewis, not with us today, but certainly one of America's most important jazz composers, pianist, radio personality. He's recorded over 80 albums, received 5 gold records and 3 Grammy Awards so far in his career. An outstanding crossover career for an artist who means so much to the legacy of jazz music in America. With us today for this press conference, the beautiful and talented Angie Stone, one of my personal favorites, who is a singer, a songwriter, an actress. To many, she is the female face and voice of neo-soul music. Angie is a 3-time Grammy nominee, a 2-time winner of the Soul Train Lady of Soul Award. And in addition to her work in music, she's appeared in films, on TV, and on the theatrical stage. I personally don't think she gets enough credit for being one of the best songwriters of our generation, male or female. And it is a pleasure to welcome Black Music Honors honoree Angie Stone. Hey, Angie.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Next we have Genuine, a multi-platinum selling R&B superstar who sold over 10 million albums in the United States alone. His collaborations with Missy Elliott and Timbaland are legendary, as are his live performances. I can still remember backstage with him at the Greek Theater just a couple of years ago as he's riding around on a hoverboard onto the stage. But he is one of the most fun people in the business. He has been seen acting on TV and in films as well. He is a Grammy nominee and winner of a Soul Train Music Award, and now he is being honored as part of the 2021 Black Music Honors. Please say congratulations to Genuine.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Looking forward to everything. Looking forward to just continuing doing music and just having fun. This is what I was born to do, and this is why I'm here. So thank you guys for supporting.
And thank you for being here today. Finally, I want to introduce you to Henry Hicks. Henry is the president and CEO of the National Museum of African American Music. He was a board member prior to becoming CEO. The 56,000 square foot experiential museum highlights the many contributions African Americans have made to American music and culture. Henry draws on his business experience to lead the fundraising efforts and to provide the museum with a sturdy fiscal foundation, which is very important. And this is probably the most important institution for African American culture since the opening of the Smithsonian Institute's Museum of African American History in Washington, D.C. And I think it's a really great fit for these Black Music Honors as their missions align perfectly. Congratulations to Henry Hicks, President and CEO of the National Museum of African American Music.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Now, before we open up the questions to our members of the press, I would like for each one of you, we'll start with you, Angie, and then you, Genuine, and then you, Henry, to just give us some of your thoughts and feelings right now about being honored for the Black Music Honors Legacy Awards.
Well, you know, for me, it's been the highlight of my 40 plus years in the business to actually be recognized by my people as one of the icons that have made a difference in individuals' lives is an accomplishment in itself. Mr. Jackson and his entire crew, in my opinion, has single-handedly given a credibility to the artistry world for me, because after being in it so long and having you all recognize me the way that you did, I'm just overwhelmed and I can't thank you enough. Just know that I'm here for you. Whenever you need me, I will always be here for you.
Thank you.
Did you mind?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was just waiting. It's about time, damn it. No, I'm just playing. I've been in the business for 26 years. And for me, you know, it's definitely been one of those things where I'm just so excited. I've been online just telling everybody that they're honoring me and all. And so I'm just happy. You know, I continued my career without all of the accolades and all that kind of stuff because, you know, whether I was getting paid for it or anything, this is something that I love to do. And I'm happy when I'm on the stage. So it's a great thing for me to get recognized by you guys, and I'm appreciative. And hopefully we can do it again, baby. We can do it again.
It's one of the best things about the Black Music Honors that we get a chance to honor people who really are deserving and haven't had their just due yet. So this is terrific. And Henry, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, I am. I'm excited and honored and humbled even, you know, about this. You know, we set out 20 plus years ago to build this museum. It really has been a walk of faith and a labor of love to really celebrate our culture and the significant role that African American music plays in what is America and what it means to be American. And so to finally get it done in the middle of a pandemic and on the heels of a bombing in Nashville, Tennessee, is something that's really exciting. But it really has been incredible to be honored because I don't think I had really taken the time to step back and think about what we'd really accomplished. And so I'm really very appreciative and look forward to being a part of the show.
Everything I've seen of this museum is just outstanding. I think a lot of people are going to be flying in to check it out. And we just appreciate the hard work that has gone into making this dream become a reality. We're going to open up the questions now to the press. Megan will acknowledge you and let you know when it's your turn to ask your question. So Megan.
Thank you, Pat, and good afternoon, everyone, and good morning to those that are on the other coast. I'm Megan Mason, supporting the JL Media PR team, and we'll start with those who actually submitted questions via email this week, so I will call out the outlet.
So my question is for both Genuine and Angie, and that question is this. As veteran artists who have achieved, fame, fortune, awards, praise, fans, traveled the world, and done it all, right? Do you find inspiration or learn anything new from rising music stars that helps to fuel your own creative passion?
Angie, you can go first.
Thanks, hon. Absolutely. Both my kids are into music along with a host of other new artists. reinventing myself, and the secret to that has been never closing off my mind and getting hyped on my own stuff. So what I do is I pull from all of the new energy that comes along, which keeps me relevant because I connect the dots. I never wanted to be one of those artists that wore the same outfit 20 years later. So I absolutely absorb like a sponge everything that the new generation, especially the new millennials, have to offer. It helps me to enhance what I already know.
Thank you.
Yes, I don't learn nothing from them young whippersnappers. I'm playing. Nah, you know what? I have, as you know, I have 9 kids, so I'm always learning from them. But I never deviate from what has made me who I am. You know what I mean? I love the 90s, 80s, early 2000s, and I try to stick with that. But I still try to maybe incorporate just a little bit of it. But what I found out, like I know Angie has, a lot of the youngins is using a lot of our music now to make their new hits. You know what I mean? So I'm inspired by that. But at the end of the day, yes, I learned, because I always think back to when I was younger and my parents was like, you don't know nothing about no love music. What's that? Who is that? You better listen to some Marvin Gaye or some damn body. But you know what I'm saying? So every generation has their music and you got to respect it. You got to,
exactly.
You know what I mean? So, you know, at the end of the day, we definitely learn, but I try to stick to where I am because my people are still here that grew with me and I want to take care of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, and congratulations, Angie, on receiving your Soul Music Icon Award. You have such a career as singer, songwriter, actress, and record producer. And what a lot of people may not know is that you were part of the first female rap group, and then you segued into your solo career as a neo-soul artist, an R&B icon, with giving us hits such as Brother and No More Rain, and I Wish I Didn't Miss You. What has been your staying power over the decades of your career?
I think my staying power has to do with my determination to win and not lose. I am an avid believer. I came from South Carolina. I'm born and raised there. It was a prejudiced place, and I was always trying to fit into a culture that didn't want me. So it made me work 10 times as hard, and God had already put in my spirit what I was supposed to do, and I was really supposed to just trust him. And so I'd never worry about the things that people worry about in terms of, am I going to get recognized? Are they going to remember me? I think this really threw me for a loop, and I really lost it when I received my award because I never expected to get the accolades from my audience. But being a part of Vertical Hold for 12 years, along with the group, the sequence prior to that, going on to be a songwriter, I was constantly trying to create new avenues for myself so that I would always win to me. I was never in competition with anyone but myself. So for me, it was always a win-win situation.
Wow, you just gave us some great nuggets for life and lessons. Thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Hi guys,
Hi.
I'm Kay from Celebrity Mixer. It's so nice to speak with you guys today. First I want to say congratulations on being honored with such prestigious awards. So what about this award is different from any other awards that you received? And what does Juneteenth mean to you guys?
Angie, you know, I'm always
gonna. No, you can go first. You can go first. We can tag team, bro. You know I love you, so go ahead.
Sure. It means a lot to me simply because, just like Angie was saying, the recognition from your people is always received well, you know. So I'm just humbled by being called, you know what I mean? Because we was going through all this COVID stuff, we didn't know how we were going to get back on the stage and back into our business. And as I've told a lot of people, that's the time when I'm most happy. You know what I mean? So I was just happy to get recognized, and it's just always a lovely thing to get appreciated. Throughout my life, I've always sought after just being, you know, appreciated. you know, and I've always been like a humble cat, joking, all that kind of stuff, but I've always sought after just to be appreciated. So it's a blessing, and I'm just, again, thankful about that.
Awesome.
And for me, I'm getting a little teary-eyed, mainly because I'm a giver. I love giving of myself. I love giving, you know, other people joy. I just love seeing other people benefit from the gift that God gave me. So Juneteenth means just that to me. It's a gift. And I think that we should be comfortable in giving and bringing joy to people. People, you know, we get so caught up sometimes with ourselves and everything about us is supposed to be just about us. And I just totally disagree with that. If I'm not giving, I'm not happy. And I think overall, this award being recognized by our people, like Genuine said, being recognized by our people says that we've done something good. We've done something right. And somebody says, hey, I see you in the midst of all the mess. I still see your heart. And I think that's what gets me, because I would hate to die knowing that nobody got it. So I get emotional because you guys, you did get it. And I thank you. I can't thank you enough, because it's been a long time.
Yes, and it's so good to get your flowers while you can still smell them. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
Love you, Angie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to add as well. I mean, I think it's important that, as Angie just said, you know, that the acknowledgement that you've done something good is really, it's a really very simple concept, but it's really powerful. You know, for us, Juneteenth is a big deal. Our museum is opened on MLK Day, and on Juneteenth, we're going to celebrate our grand opening. So we're going to have our museum dedication ceremony. And so we really will pause, you know, with all of you and say, you know, we've created something, hopefully, that all of you will think is good and makes a difference to the community, makes a difference to the culture, sends a message to the country that Black music matters, that this music is a core part, a central part of American culture and creativity. So we're excited about Juneteenth around here.
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations again, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
First and foremost, congratulations on the honors. This question is for Genuine and Angie Stone. Piggybacking on what Genuine said about you know, this new generation using your songs, and there's been a lot of sampling and stuff. Given your longevity and impact in the music industry, what's a piece of advice you've been given by a fellow artist that may have contributed to that success?
One of the artists that I came up with was Jodeci, and I had a long time experiencing a lot of things with them as far as the business, because when I got with them, it was like the 1990, and they were at the top of their career, or 91, one of those years. And so I got to see a lot of things that I should do, shouldn't do. I got you know, an opportunity to meet Puffy when he wasn't Diddy, Mary J. Blige, just a host of other people. And one thing that I would always tell, you know, younger cats that's coming up in the business, and they're doing a great job, because it's always been numbers. It's always been numbers. So followers and all that stuff. It's always been that. We just didn't have the computer to allow us to know that. But I always tell them to make sure you wear more than one hat. Just don't be an entertainer, because throughout my business, I was so stuck in being an artist, didn't understand that the wolves was taking a lot of my money, and I never understood it until I got a little more seasoned in the business and took control over everything that, you know, my career had to offer. So I would say just wear more than one hat, and just you know, I always tell people to be on time and make sure that, you know, whatever you set out to do, you set out to be the best at it.
Good. Oh, well, great answer.
Thank you, baby.
For me, I have to share these flowers with Miss Betty Wright, mainly because as a young girl, I listened to her, Gladys Knight, and all the people that people say I remind them of, Chaka con. They go all this way. And then she and I became like the best of friends. I learned so much from her because we both were Sagittarius and we both had the same spirit, the same kind of humble heart. And she would teach me along the way when things wouldn't go the way that they should go. She would always give me a phone call and make sure I knew that, hey, this has happened to me. Shake it off. Don't worry about it. The greatest gift I learned from her was that her faith was unshakable. And what she did was impart in me that spirit for ministry, just to know that this is not everything in the world, that everything that we got didn't belong to us, that it belonged to him. And so as a result, I built my foundation on the spirituality of what Christ had given me. So as a result, she became my best friend, my buddy. In the end, right before she passed, I was there with her and I saw a queen. And I just have to say to everyone, I want to thank her publicly because she, in my opinion, was one of those ones that didn't get her roses, not the ones that she deserved. So I take honor, Mr. Jackson, and the entire crew to share my flowers with that queen.
Thank you so much. Again, congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.
Hey. My name is Shelby. I'm representing Black Girls in Media today. And my question is for Miss Angie Stone. Congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
Since this is a time of reflecting on your experience in the industry, what is one piece of advice you would give Black women pursuing a career in entertainment?
The one thing that I would say to Black women is never allow the industry dictation to dictate how and when you decide to work hard enough that you become number one to yourself. There was a time when I was overweight. I was dealing with some health issues, and that was in according to the industry standard, that was supposed to make it so that I would never exceed a certain level. No one knew that I was dealing with health issues, so the medication that I was on blew me up. And as a result, I had to fight the wiles of the world because my type was not supposed to be successful. Well, had I fallen victim to that, anything could have happened. But because, of my faith, I stood strong on the promise. And as a result, I would say to any young woman that has a gift, that recognizes the gift, that knows, trust your instincts. I am a person that believes any dream is touchable.
Thank you so much for your transparency.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm Tammy with Hustle and Soul Magazine. Congratulations to all the honorees. My question is for Genuine. Hey, my question is 1010, where you been? That's not my question.
I like that.
Congratulations on the Urban Music Icon Award. Well deserved. You are indeed an icon, but first and foremost, you are a father. How has the music industry made you a better parent?
You know what? Honestly, I gotta be just as transparent as Angie. In the beginning, I probably wasn't as good as being a parent as I should have been because I was young. And I started young. I had my first child at 16. So I was just a kid myself, you know what I mean? So, as you get older, as anyone does, with age comes wisdom, and you just start to apply that wisdom to your fatherhood, and raising your kids, and marriage and all that good stuff. So like I said, in the beginning it was hard, but as I got older, I got much better at it and realized that I'm not doing it for me anymore. The first year or two or three really was for me, but after you see them little babies come and you got to hold those little babies. It's all about them. It's all about them for me, and I love babies. That's why I got 9. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely about my kids after a while, and I tried to take not bring them too much into the business, but allow them to know what it is about and allow them to make their own decisions if they want to be a part of it.
Thank you so much, Genuine. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, in the years to come, and this question is actually for Henry. In the years to come, the legacy of foundational artists like Genuine and Angie are going to be alive and well for future generations, thanks to the work that you're doing at the National Museum of African American Music. I wanted to know, what are some of the exhibits that we're going to see when we come to the museum? And could you talk a little bit about why you're located in Nashville and the importance of that city?
Yeah, so I appreciate the question. Nashville is Music City. Genuine and Angie know how important it is to the industry and how central it is to the industry. Lots of musicians working here, lots of touring coming out of here, lots of royalty checks cut out of Nashville, and it's a place where people really come to tour and to listen and to learn and to play music. And so we thought it was just an appropriate place. The Fifth Jubilee Singers is really how Nashville got its nickname of Music City. And so Black music has always been central to the culture here, but it just hadn't been celebrated appropriately here in Nashville or any place else in the country. So when the project got started, again, more than 20 years ago, it just made a lot of sense. It was probably made more difficult in some ways because of its location to get done, but ultimately the community locally and around the country have really come to it. And I think that when people come to see the museum, they'll see it, they'll feel it, they'll understand it, that you can get everything from slave songs to hip hop in this place. Our galleries focus on religious forms of music, blues, jazz, R&B, funk, soul, techno, disco, and hip hop, but really sets it in a historical context so that no matter who you are, what your walk of life, what your favorite artist is, your favorite genre you like, you will see, you will feel, you will experience yourself and your own life experience in this museum, and you'll come to appreciate the significance of this history, the significance of this culture, the significance of the careers of Angie Stone and Genuine and Ramsey Lewis and so many others. You'll come to see it and you'll understand it, you'll feel it. And so that's the significance of the museum, and that's what people will see and feel and get a chance to have fun with when they come to the museum.
And just a quick related question too for Genuine and Angie, as parents yourself, how important is it that your kids know about the history of their music? You know, we talked about different generations embracing what each other is doing, but what does this mean for you as parents to be able to have a place where you can bring your young people and they can actually learn about the great contributions that African Americans have made to music?
Oh, for me, well, for me to go out there and bring my kids, which I will, it's great for them to know about hard work, because you got to understand, they will understand. Back in the days, it was extra hard for us to get on in any kind of way. I mean, with all the craziness that was going on back then. So I like to show my kids about hard work and dedication, as my brother Floyd would always say, hard work and dedication, because it takes a lot for us as a people to not as much now, but back then, to be recognized and change the world. Like for me, I came up with Missy and Timbaland and all of us, and we changed, or I like to think we helped change the dynamic of music. So it's always great to allow your kids to know the strengths of Black power, Black music, and Black people in general. So I'm definitely going to make sure that I bring my kids out there to witness that and check that out.
Very good. For me, being a single parent, that's the first thing. I'm a single parent and an only child. It's important for me, for my kids and my grandkids, to know the sacrifice that was made so that they would work 10 times harder. There was no room to give up or quit for me. I'm a fighter, I'm a winner. And what this museum will do is give a foundation in a place where there was supposed to be a husband, a wife, a whole family load of, look at what we've done. Well, I've sacrificed quite a bit because being a single parent, having to tour the world for over 40 years now, and having to leave my children and my grandchildren, missing the magical moments, I call it, to make sure that they had a future. That was the greatest sacrifice of life to me, because I can't get those years back, but I can go back through time with my children and say, this was what hard work did. This was what sacrifice looks like. This is how I made the difference in your life. So when I sit back and I think about this museum, I can only thank you for creating this beautiful legacy for both of us, for all of us, really, to be able to look back and say, you know what I mean? We did what we did. And I'm not ashamed of it. It was a journey that God chose for me. And I'm just here to say thank you once again. I can't thank you all enough. I hope I answered the question right.
Yes, you did. Thank you all so much. I just think it's such an important institution for our communities.
Thank you.
Genuine, you've been in this business for so long, and now you're being presented with the Urban Music Icon Award. How much does receiving this award mean to you?
As we said before, just receiving this award is award. I said word. Receiving allows me to keep moving forward and pressing ahead. But again, even if I wasn't, this wasn't my career, I would still be doing it. And I believe that's one of the things that people see when, they are acknowledging you. They see that you love your work. They see you would do this regardless. And being, an artist like myself and wanting to change music and getting inspired by people like Michael Jackson and Prince and all that, I wanted to walk in those footsteps. And just like I said, for me to get honored, it means a lot to me, you know what I mean? And I'm appreciative, I'm humbled, and I'm just gonna keep pressing forward. As I said before, this is one of the only times where I'm happy. I battle depression on a daily basis. So a lot of things people don't get to see, especially with us artists, but to get acknowledged, it means more than a lot of people can ever fathom. For me, it's definitely appreciated.
Appreciate you for your time. Thank you so much. And congratulations to you, Angie Stone, and to everybody that is being honored. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Dominique with Benworthy Media. Congrats to all the honorees. So excited to see you all get your flowers in this way. As Genuine said, he couldn't have said it any better. It's about time, Angie and Genuine, you guys have been huge contributors to the industry for years, even beyond, my conception. So I'm so excited to see you all getting your flowers. Angie, you once said, you wouldn't allow grass to grow under your feet, right? After being in the industry for over 40 years, Genuine, your legacy to the industry is just undeniable. You've both been able to remain relevant, even beyond the music, television, film, and, the music probably would have been enough for us. Why was it important for you to remain relevant over the years in your career?
You really don't have a blueprint on relevancy when it comes to this business. You just go in there, you work hard, and you do what sounds great to you, and you just hope for the best. Me, it's a blessing. I've been here 26 years, so, and still doing it. And I think one of the main reasons why you stay relevant as an artist, again, is people see the hard work that you put in, and the people that supported you and received you well, kept you up there. And now for me, like I said earlier, when the youngins, the younger artists are doing your records, that pretty much keeps you relevant within itself. Because there's a lot of people that, didn't even, as far as kids, they don't know who I am, but now they do, and now they will, because of the young artists. I sit by people all the time on the plane, and they'll say, "Who are you?" And then I'll say, they were like, "That's you." Yes, it's me. But it's a great thing, and long as people like the rappers and young singers keep me, relevant, like my boy Jacquees and all those cats, I mean, I'm happy, and you know, I'm always willing to give advice.
Wow, it's funny that you said Jacquees, because I hooked up with him last week, and I didn't know who he was at first. I think for me, what feels good about relevancy is the respect you've garnered over the years. I think hard work eventually pays off. What feels good to me is when I have Snoop and a bunch of other cats that are in the game, that are, you know, mentoring the younger generation. And I have the younger generation come to me for advice because they trust the win factor. And it's like, how did you do it? So relevancy is not so much of being on top and being a star and being recognized and having the accolades, but I think the importance of relevancy at this point is mentorship and guiding. What can you do to stop people from hitting that brick wall that's over there waiting for them if they keep making mistakes? So I use my relevancy platform to make sure my children avoid the pitfalls and that they don't make the crazy decisions. And just, you know, one of the things that we have to be cognizant of is there's a lot of drugs, there's a lot of influence in the industry, and I made it through all of the wilds without any of that. So I want to be a role model for the next generation and the generation after that, and instill in my children that, you know, we got it the right way. So there is a right way and there's a wrong way. So I just think relevancy for me means making sure I keep the standard clear and clean, and people can latch on to something that they know will win. And you're going to end up still getting the keys to the gate, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I love it. Well, again, congratulations to you both, and thanks so much for answering my question.
Thank you.
Hey, I am. How you guys doing? First off, congratulations to everybody that's being honored, and to Genuine and Angie, of course. But I got one question, so it's towards Angie.
Good.
All right, Angie, you mentioned you're very pleased to be honored this year, and you're so well deserved of this Icon Award. I'm so happy you're receiving it. But talk to us a little bit and tell us about why do you think this hasn't happened before now? Because you've been in this industry for a long time.
Well, I think what has not happened for me prior to this moment has a lot to do with the industry itself and the mess I was talking about. I don't think that, you know, do I think it's just a punch Angie Stone bag? No, I don't. But I think there are certain levels that, you know, appear for different people. I think the fact that I am a Christian, I think the fact that my Jesus talks probably run them away. I think the fact that, you know, I was connected with some people that would probably do just about anything to be successful, and I wouldn't, has a lot to do with the X factor. And I'm just talking my heart because I've been in the business long enough to know that the word, I won't say I was blackballed, but I can say there was a ball thrown somewhere. Now, did I dodge it? I don't know. But there's no real reason why any of us should not be recognized when we work as hard as Genuine and myself have worked, unless there's something diabolical attached to it. So I just believe in my heart of hearts that it has nothing to do with anything other than the enemy. That's the way I look at it.
Real good. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for that answer. And again, congratulations to all you guys. So well deserved. Can't wait to watch the ceremony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shamika from Check the Rhymes. I think I've talked to Genuine several times over the years, but hi, Angie Stone.
Hi.
Congratulations to all the nominees, or honorees, I'm sorry, honorees. So my question is for you, Angie. You know, I'm super excited to see that you're receiving your flowers, but you've also mentioned several times, and even in this press conference, that you weren't recognized for your contributions. You weren't invited to award shows. So I just wanted to know what this really, like, when you first got the call, what was that like? And then like how you can take what you've learned from, you know, whether it was that black ball being thrown out there to give advice to other people that are kind of feeling the same kind of way.
Well, when I first got the call, I was in shock. I thought it was a prank, thought it was a joke. I'm like, this is not real. This is not happening. But I began to pray about it, and I just lost my mom in January. And so I attributed to her and my dad in heaven working this thing out, because the one thing that my mom always said prior to her passing away was, I just hate they don't never, recognize you for all the hard work you do. And I had to really get her off of that, because I never wanted people to get so consumed with the award and the concept of people recognizing them that they forget the gift that God gave me to give. So I had to really, desensitize myself to award ceremonies and shows and all that kind of stuff. I really had to go into my box of, this gift was for me to share with the world. And it doesn't necessarily mean you get a return on that. So once I received that for myself, I was able to accept not being invited to some of the award shows and not, having a moment. Oh, of course, it feels good to get recognized, but I had desensitized myself from it because it had not happened for so long. I think the thing that really gave me the notion that we were overlooked is being part of the very first ever female rap group to change the trajectory of the hip hop world. We were the first female group to add singing to hip hop, to add hooks in terms of, embodying that movement that gave hip hop an additional lifespan, because originally it was just rhyme. Then it was, they had rhymes with beats. And then we put original music to it. Once we put original music to it and start putting original songs to it and singing and add on dancers, the whole thing changed. And as a result, even with Genuine, with Missy Timbaland, with so many of the artists that took hip hop and broadened that horizon, that was something, when the Fugees came out, I was over the top, because Lauryn Hill had made it very clear that this was an inspiration for her music to sing and rap. So that was something for me that was overlooked because of the New York factor. They thought this was born in New York. No, we're from the South. We were Southern belles. And at the end of the day, it was something that we brought to the table. We didn't have a clue about hip hop in the North. So when you overlook the fact that the Sequence was the first female rap group and we changed the game, I promise you, that is what sat in the pit of my stomach. And until they got that right, it was never going to be right to me.
Well, I'm glad that Black Music Honors is giving you your flowers, and shout out to the Carolinas.
Okay,
I'm in North Carolina. Congratulations again. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Angie, first of all, I want to say congratulations. I am so inspired by your faith. You're literally ministering to us today. And I just want to say, I pray that God continues to bless you and he continues to use your voice to minister to us, because I am so inspired by you. But today, my question is for Genuine. So Genuine, listen, you took us through the 90s in style. I remember running home every day after school just to watch 106 in Park to hear your music. And we know that Differences was one of your most played videos of all time on 106 in Park. Oh my goodness. So you are also a songwriter, and you co-wrote Miss You, but performed by Aaliyah. May God rest her soul. So take us through that process from writing the song to the moments when you first heard it on the radio.
Well, that was R.I.P. to Aaliyah. That was a song that I did for her 1 in a Million CD, I think it was. And with us as artists, we do 50 songs, and that was just one of the songs that I had gave her, but unfortunately it didn't make the album. But that was one of the songs that after she passed, the label thought was a good release for the situation. So I was happy either way, but we miss her dearly. And, for that, I did that on my own, and I just gave it to her. I wasn't in the studio with her or anything.
Okay, amazing. Well, Genuine, I just want to say, congratulations, and keep on doing what you're doing. Your children are doing amazing as well. And so I pray God's richest blessings on everything that you do. Bye.
Bless.
Angie, thank you so much for giving us the ministry today. We definitely did that. And one of the things that we get from our Southern roots is, remember what's on the bottom is holding you up.
Yes.
Today's question is going to go to you, Genuine. And the reason it's coming to you is because I remember a very interesting interaction at CIAA. I think it was 2012, 2013, and we were in a wing spot. And you were very, 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 very humble. And that is one of the things that I definitely salute you for. So to be an urban icon, what does that mean to you in a time when the racial and societal climate is just so all over the place?
Honestly, I'm shy a little bit. So when you say that word, it's just stop, cut it out. But it means a lot to me simply just to be appreciated and accepted. Again, throughout my life, I had to work hard to prove myself in all ways. You know what I mean? So it just means a lot. And unfortunately, we're going through a whole bunch of mess right now, but I am so glad that it's coming to the forefront. And, you know, one thing I've always said, you know, about the camera phones and all that, it truly is sad, you know, because it allows you, or it makes you think like, wow, if people are getting away with a lot of this stuff on camera, just imagine all the stuff they got away with back in the days, changing people and all kind of stuff like that. So I'm just like, wow. So, you know, with us rising as fast as we are, and we as a people are making it known, I'm like, y'all better not cry about it. We've been going through this 400 years. You mean you can't 4 years? You better get out of here. I don't care if it's 20 more years. You better take it. You better take it. So, you know, for me, as being in this business, I'm just trying to do my part. And you know, I'm working on songs like you know, what's going on like with Marvin Gaye. You know, now, you know, look, it was already a hit, but now look, it's coming full circle again. So
yes,
it means a lot to be known and to be appreciated. But it means more to me, you know, just to make a difference and to be accepted and appreciated.
Well, we salute you and thank you so much for accepting my question. Have a blessed day.
You too.
Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations, Angie Stone. Congratulations, Genuine, on your very much so deserved award. You both are absolutely iconic, as we all know. I would love to know what has kept you both motivated to achieve such great success, and also, in your opinions, what makes a true artist?
What motivated me truly was Michael Jackson and Prince. You know, I mean, and throughout my career, I've had, you know, I fell in love with a lot of artists, you know, Whitney, Bobby Brown, Audition, and a lot of artists like that. And, you know, that's what motivated me to do what I'm doing now. I still remember when I saw Michael Jackson on Motown 25, and, you know, when they say, you know, that light bulb goes off in your head, it truly did go off in my head. Like, I know that feeling. I know what that means totally. Because that moment when he slid back, I said I wanted to make people feel the way he made me feel. And it was just moving. It was just like magic. So I wanted to try, you know, to make people feel like that. And what makes a true artist is just being true to self. You know, it's not too much complicated. The one thing I don't like about artists now is that I really can't tell the difference from one to another. That's everybody sounds the same. Everybody looks the same. Back in the days, there was only one Michael Jackson. There was only one Prince. There was only one Patti LaBelle. There was only one, you know what I mean? But now there's a lot of, I won't say no names, but there's a lot of everybody the same. And so I respect it. I respect the movement. I respect the music. I respect the artists. But in my day, it was just different. And for me, just a true artist in my heart is just a person that sets out to be different, become different, and make a difference in the world, and not just do something that everybody else is doing.
Well, my inspiration came from my mother and my father. My dad was a quartet singer, and I mentioned earlier, being an only child, my only entertainment was my dad's group practicing in the living room. So I would sit there and I would listen to all those harmonies, and you just was like in a trance. because I couldn't figure out how they were doing it. But I was exposed to it so much that it became my one reason for doing music. My dad was one of the best quarterbacks in South Carolina. He went to a high school called Booker T. Washington. And from what I learned early on, my mom got pregnant when they were in high school. And, you know, they both were family people. So when it came time for him to make a decision on whether I go to school or do I quit my school and go to work to take care of my family, my dad sacrificed his entire football career to going to college and everything, very limited education, to make sure that he took care of his family. So he went to work as a cab driver. That became my inspiration for working so hard to take care of my parents, because I both realized they both sacrificed their entire lives so that I would have a better life, which is why I work so hard for my own children right now. That's the one thing. When I think about the artists that influenced me, I used to love Earth, Wind, and Fire, Maurice White, the things that they sang about, the stories. There was myths in their stories. There were things that I dissected over and over and over. And when I thought about David Copperfield being a part of the entertainment world and fixing it so that Parliament and Earth, Wind, and Fire gave you these extravagant shows, I never wanted to perform unless those shows were that dynamic, because that made your $5 or $10 or $15 ticket worth it. And at the end of the day, people started, you know, as the generations came to us, people started sliding down thin ice with, just give me a DJ and 50 dancers and I'm gonna go out here and do this. Well, to me, the artistry was sacrificed. And I just realized at that point, I would never abandon the raw idea of great musicianship, because everybody ate. And what happened is when we start thinning out the roster to save money for the promoters and doing all of this here stuff, we sacrifice the culture itself. So when I sit back and I think about the inspiration, yes, it was Earth, Wind, and Fire. It was the Commodores. It was all those people that put a whole lot into the showmanship, which is why I have so much respect for Genuine, because you put so much into the showmanship, because at the end of the day, you want your fans to walk away feeling full. And that's why I work so hard. So let me just congratulate you, Genuine, personally, for being that urban icon, because it's very important that people pull that from you and that they understand and represent the culture of what we do. It's very important. I love you and I'm so proud of you for it.
Thank you.
You both are just simply amazing. Congratulations again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetie.
You may have noticed that we have been joined by music royalty. Bishop Marvin Sapp is one of America's most loved gospel singers, songwriters. He inspired us all as a member of the group Commission during the 1990s before beginning a record-breaking solo career. He is also the founder and senior pastor of Lighthouse Full Life Center Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where he was born and raised. And a lot of us never would have made it without Marvin Sapp. Woo! He is a chart-topping artist, an 11-time Grammy nominee, winner of 2 BET Awards, and a multiple Stellar Award winner. Now he can add a new statue as Gospel Music Icon Award winner for the 2021 Black Music Honors. It is my honor to welcome Marvin Sapp to our press conference today. And we've got a lot of questions for you, so let's get to them. Give us some of your thoughts about being an icon. You know, an icon is the face.
Well, you know, I never considered myself to be iconic. You know, I've always just considered myself more or less to be a vessel, you know, that's being used in this season, in this moment. You know, I want to celebrate, you know, Angie. I want to celebrate Genuine. I want to celebrate everybody who is being recognized for, you know, years of service, because that's what we're actually doing. You know, we're actually trying to get out messaging through music and melody that encourages, uplifts, and you know, makes people happy. So I'm glad to be here after 32 years. You know, still sort of kind of relevant, and you know, being able to, you know, deliver a message that I think that's in time and in season, and that motivates and help people. You know, I tell people the story all the time, if I never would have made it, you know, that most of you all probably never would have heard it if it wasn't for my late wife, Melinda. The day of my live recording, she nagged and nagged and nagged and nagged and said, Marvin, you need to put this song on your record. And I told her, it's not even a whole song. It was something that God gave to me spontaneously the Sunday after I buried my father. And she just kept saying, you got to put it on your record. And I'm like, no, this ain't even a whole song. It's never woulda, never coulda, stronger, wiser, better. That's the whole song. So I went and wrote 2 verses and a bridge to it that no one will ever hear. Because she's like, that's not it. So what I did was, in order to appease my late nagging wife, I put it at the end of my record in a medley of songs just to appease her. And the next thing I know, a year later, it was the #1 hip hop, gospel, and R&B song in the country. And I mean, everybody's singing it. And, you know, even today, the song is, I think, 14, 15 years old. And people are still sampling it. And I tell people all the time, that's the song that put my kids through middle school, elementary school, and college. So I want to say thank you because that song is going to live past me. And the reason why I say that is because I think that all of us have had never would have made it moments. And that's why the song resonates so wonderfully well with so many people. So keep sampling it, you know, R&B, hip hop, gospel, whatever, because y'all helping the preacher to eat in this season of COVID. Thank you.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so excited for all of you receiving awards. Even Genuine's hat says to make R&B great again, and I think that's so important because you came out the gate swinging with some of your stuff, and you're still. We need to make music overall great again. And all of you have done that. Dr. Sapp, we have watched your personal life play out from the transition of your beloved wife and to your elevation of senior pastor of Chosen Vessel, as well as a successful career as a gospel artist with the smash hit record you were just talking about, Never Would Have Made It, and He Saw the Best of Me. What encouragement can, actually for all of you, but what encouragement can you provide to those who follow you guys and are having troubling times right now when it seems like, you know, life is falling apart? You as artists have, let me stop and say thank you for the sacrifice, because the things that you guys lose, you give to us so we can have what you don't even have yourself. So thank you for your sacrifice, but what encouragement can you provide to those who are trying to just stay afloat? All of your music has changed the world. So I just want to know what you can offer.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Genuine. Go ahead. You go ahead.
I'm gonna be quick and sweet. I'm gonna be quick and sweet. For the people that's out there struggling right now, I would always just say the first words for me is to just pray and just and to surround yourself around people that's trying to build themselves up as well. One thing I don't like is a pity party, and as long as you walking, standing, talking and all that, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. You can get out there and do it, but just don't compromise yourself to the point where you're willing to do anything. So I would just say stand strong, pray, and surround yourself by people, like-minded people that's trying to win and do the same thing that you're doing.
Beautiful.
All I can say is ditto. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, I think you need to be around people that's going to affirm you, people that's going to build you up, people that's going to encourage you. Read things that are going to be encouraging and enlightening. I mean, all of us, the music industry has gone through a major trauma.
Yeah.
Us not being able to travel, us not being able to do concert dates, and for many, that's how they make their living. Because there's not a whole lot of folks in the industry, believe it or not, that are songwriters. So the truth is that, this genre of music has experienced the same thing that you all have experienced.
Mhm.
So, you know, what we had to do was we just had to pull ourselves together, you know, stay prayerful, you know, make sure we kept speaking life, and keep declaring and decreeing that the rest of our days are going to be the best of our days. So, you know, I added to what Genuine said, but I totally, completely agree.
Appreciate you, bro.
Hi, how's everybody doing? Congrats to everyone first and foremost. My question is for you, Genuine. Congrats to you on your Urban Icon Award. You definitely are an icon. And I want to ask you about one of your most iconic songs, Pony. Right. Yes. So we know the song peaked at #1 on the Billboard charts in '96. Since then, it's been in numerous movies. It even earned you the title of Grand Marshal at the Pony Swim in Virginia. And you also still tour with that song in 2021. As an R&B pioneer, do you think R&B artists of today are making standout songs like Pony that you believe will be relevant in decades to come? What would you say?
Artists now, yeah, I believe so. And then, you know, with songs like Pony and stuff like that, you don't know until they become that. You know what I mean? So it's gonna take some time for us to find out what artist has made a song that can stand the test of time. I know Angie has made songs like that. My brother Sapp, he like never wanna make. Love it. So you know, it's you never know until the people tell you that that's what it's gonna be. So I do like a lot of the artists now, and I'm hoping that they stay with it, because it definitely is a situation where you could prosper and live off of that for years, and your kids and all that. That's why when Marvin said that, I feel him. But you know, thankful I was I am a writer as well. So it's always, you know, if it's being used and it's going to stay out there for a long time, I'm always going to reap the benefits of it, and my kids. So it's a blessing, and I thank people that's been supporting me since '96. It's definitely been a great ride.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Congrats to everyone.
Take it easy, Jen.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Peace, man.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Can
what's
y'all
up?
hear me?
I hear you.
So my question is for you. First of all, let me say congratulations to everybody, the people who have put this together. Black people honoring Black people is always amazing, and we have to do a better job at that. So salute to all of you all. Mr. Sapp, my question to you is, so back in 2013, I think, Texarkana, Arkansas, I went to go see you perform at Kenneth Reed's church.
Okay.
And you were supposed to, I thought I was going to go see you in concert, but you preached.
Oh, wow.
I was already in love with your singing, but your preaching just stomped me completely. It was just like, wow. Listen, most people have never heard you preach. They are missing out. Like, if they thought never could have made it with everything, they need to hear you preach. So my question to you is, and I'm not pressed by all preachers, but so let me just say that that's a serious compliment. Let me say my question to you is, if you had to choose.
Oh, that's easy. Preaching. You ain't got to ask me. I mean, I love preaching. I love, you know, expository preaching in particular. I love digging into, you know, scripture, and most importantly, I love trying to make it practical and applicable to the culture.
Yes.
That's fun to me. It's fun. I tell people all the time, the Bible is the biggest soap opera you ever want to read. I mean, if you want to read real ratchet stuff, grab your Bible. I mean, it's all in there. So, you know, from, you know, brothers having multiple women, concubines, you know, playing folk, murderers who lead people out of, you know, horrible situations. The Bible is filled with stuff that we deal with every day. So, you know, I've been preaching for, you know, I was preaching before I became a recorder. I was traveling all over the world, you know, preaching the gospel before I became a member of commission in 1990. So, you know, if you were to ask me what I would love to do more than anything else, is any day of the week. Singing is fun. It is. I love being able to do what I do musically, but sitting up, studying, and trying to make the word relevant to the culture of this day is fun. It's challenging, but it's fun.
You're one of those preachers that make sure people understand what you're talking about.
Thank
You
you.
keep it real. You keep it real. So keep doing what you're doing.
I will do that. I will.
It's wonderful talking to you.
My pleasure.
So my question is for Marvin Sapp. Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm good. So you are receiving the award for a gospel music icon. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I just want to ask you, like in the current, I guess, era, post-Trump, post-pandemic, where do you see, or how do you see gospel music's role?
Oh man, I mean, it's always been the same as it always has been, and that is the good news. I mean, real gospel music is good news that is supposed to bring encouragement, and it's supposed to strengthen the heart and mind and give people a positive position or a positive focus in life. So, you know, I do believe yet and still that's what gospel music is supposed to do, and that's what it does. So, you know, I keep bringing up the fact that I was here for 32 years. And the reason why I keep bringing it up is because it's hard to believe that, you know, I'm still here after 32 years, to be perfectly honest with you. But I look at the artists that's coming along now in the gospel music genre and the gifts that they are, and the fact that they are able to, you know, make our music culturally relevant so that it not only, you know, is enjoyed by just gospel music listeners, but it's enjoyed by music listeners across the board. And I think that that's an amazing thing. So, you know, as long as we keep making sure that the message is clear, you know, and that is that, you know, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light, you know, I believe that the rest of gospel music days is going to be the best of its days. Okay. And music in general.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for answering my question, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Literally, you guys have had your original talent. You guys have not stole from anyone. You have originality. You guys really just make your own lanes. And I feel like most journalists in here can identify with being original and having their own lanes. Now, my question for you is, as you all see the new wave of artists, and while they have very different types of talents and different ways to get themselves out there, who do you think embodies the essence of an icon in today's music?
Oof, wow. Well, let me just say, I can't speak for Angie, but I don't know. I don't know if I appreciate the title of being an icon. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've reached that level yet, because if you're a real artist, you're always striving for better. You're always striving for more. You know, Angie and I, we come from, you know, a world musically where, you know, sampling and stuff wasn't the norm. We come from a world where the artistry that was necessary and needed was, you know, you had to be able to play. You know, there was no auto-tune. You had to be able to sing. You know,
live recording, some of the vocals.
And recording live. I mean, it wasn't auto-tune when we was, you know, we had like 2-inch tape. So we come from a whole nother, you know, frame of thought. And, you know, so I don't know if anyone can ever reach that iconic, in their minds, that iconic level, because they're consistently trying to, you know, beat out what they've done before. You know, I ain't crazy. Never Would Have Made It was a lightning bolt of a song. You know, it was lightning. I don't think that I would ever be able to do anything like that again. It's sold millions upon millions upon millions upon millions.
Classic.
But but that doesn't mean, you know, I ain't trying. That just simply means that even if I don't get there, I did it once. Thank God for the one time.
I love it.
So when I look at artists, I look at people that I think possess the ability to be extremely successful in the industry, mm-hmm. You know, based upon their gift, their ability, their musicality. But even if you ask them, I don't think that they would ever say, I'm gonna be iconic. They just gonna say, you know what, I did it to the best of my ability. And, you know, I just kept winning because I kept shooting for the moon. You know, they stayed hungry. And I think that's going to be my answer. I think if any artist that remains hungry in this industry, they'll be iconic. Because I'm still. What about you, Angie? Ain't you still hungry?
I'm still hungry. I stay hungry.
I'm hungry too, y'all.
I don't know why my video stopped, but I'm still here. I just want to say that an icon is a person, in my opinion, that's been given an assignment, that's following through religiously. And I'm going to say that because to whom much is given, much is required. So we have to represent the culture. We have to represent the purpose. And I just think that all of us that are on here today that have been recognized, I go back to, we must be doing something good. It's not necessarily a right or a wrong way to do it, but if it's a good thing and it resonates to people in a very good way, then you're doing what you're supposed to do. That creates an icon to me. The fact that Minister or Dr. Sapp is on here, I'm in awe of your gifting. Just know that, my dream is to minister as well. I'm about to go to ministry college. I want to really get in that field and pursue it, and hopefully with the same agility you have moved with, I am moving that way. And as far as music is concerned, we know that's the highest form of praise. So I'm just looking at the fact that we've been given an assignment that God is pleased with. And that's why we're wearing the title icon.
And that was perfectly answered. Thank you both so much. I will definitely take this chance for myself. And hopefully at some point I could reach some sort of icon status like y'all in my journey. Okay. Thank y'all so much, and good luck, Angie, in ministry school.
Thank you.
Based on everything that you've been through in your career, because you are an icon, you've been here for a long time already, what advice would you give to a younger Angie based off what you've been through so far?
Well, the advice that I would give to a younger Angie is to follow the footsteps of the older Angie. The reason I say that is mainly because my focus never deviated from Christ. And I think what has saved me in 40 years is the fact that my focus never changed. I trusted God with the gifting, and I moved expeditiously in the direction that He would have me go in. So what I would say is, first get your footing and your foundation straight before you come out in the wild of the woods, because there are traps. Just like if you're in the woods trying to catch a deer, a bear, a rabbit, or a squirrel, there are always devices that are set up to catch you up in the snare. And what people have to do is you have to put on the full armor of God when you're walking out here in the woods. And I mean, the world is the woods. This is a place where you're going to win or lose. There is no draw. You're either going to win or lose. So the reason that I know that I'm a winner is because I've girded my loins with the Spirit of Christ. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's going to take a whole lot to stop me. Because I'm girded in the Spirit of Christ. So my advice would be to get your footing in the right path, to have your spirituality guarded by the promise. And first, there's the pain and process to get to the promise.
Thank you so much for those inspiring words, and congratulations again.
Hi, Angie. Hi, Marvin. How are you?
Hi.
Great.
How are you?
I'm great. My question is for you, Angie. First of all, congratulations on being honored at the Soul Music Icon Award. That you are an icon. You're legendary. You're absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So, for someone who is accepting the award as a soul music icon, who are some future soul music icons in the making that you have been paying attention to?
Believe it or not, there are quite a few artists that have the gifting to just be soul artists. Her, for one, has that ability to be that artist. There are quite a few soul artists, though, that I still look up to that, in my opinion, have not been recognized. And that Tweet is one of them. And I just think she's not done yet. And I think that we have overlooked that greatness. So as far as future, there are not that many. I think PJ Morton, he's very soulful. If I had to look in that direction, I think he's very soulful. But there are some unheard of artists that even if I named them, I don't think you would know who they are. But I think Mali Music is one of the artists that we have to really pay attention to. So when I think of yesterday, today, and tomorrow, there's a handful of people. But if I had to pick and choose, I would go with a few of the country artists. There are some country artists that embody a lot of soul that if you look into it, Nashville has a truckload of soul artists. So, but right now, I think Mali Music is one of my favorites.
Okay, awesome. If the opportunity presented, would you do a song with Mali?
Well, but actually, Mali has sent me about 10 tracks, and I definitely would do a song with Mali. I decided that if I ever did my biopic, that I had asked Mali, would he do the soundtrack of my life? And he said yes.
Well, we're going to be here for it because we definitely need a biopic of Miss Angie. Thank you so much, and congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. My question is for Angie Stone. Since we're on the topic of Black music, celebrating Black music honors, receiving flowers, I was wondering if you're familiar with the versus battles. If we was to see Angie Stone in a versus battle, who do you think would be a good matchup for you?
Oh, well, it's so funny that you would ask me that question. That has come to me several times. I don't think that there are a lot of Angie Stone doables out there. Not that I'm better or worse than anybody. It's just that there is a handful of soul artists or neo soul artists that on that level. I don't think I really have enough hits to get in a versus battle. I think I have the projects, the albums to participate, but if I had to compete with anybody, it would be myself. I don't see anybody else to compete with.
All right. Well, thank you. Once again, congratulations for being honored. And thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Bishop Sapp and Ms. Angie Stone on your honor. My question is for Marvin Sapp. My question is, what is your thoughts on your Never Would Have Made It? It's trending on TikTok, the challenge. What are your thoughts about it, with the song still being around today?
I love it. People always call me and they say stuff like, aren't you offended by it? Or, what do you think about it? I'm like, shoot, I think it's great. I mean, the fact that the song has had this level of life and it still is very relevant, it keeps me relevant, because once people, learn that the song came from me, then they start researching not just my music, that song, but they research other aspects of my music as well. So, I think it's great. I mean, Never Would Have Made It has been sampled by DJ Khaled. It's been sampled by, oh my God, it's been sampled by Wheezy. It's been sampled by so many different individuals. So, the fact that, the hip hop community is embracing it, I'm honored, to be honest with you. I think it's an amazing honor. So, keep on doing it because it keeps me relevant. It keeps me alive.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Can we see you participating in the challenge soon?
My kids have been trying to get me to do it for the longest, to be honest with you. So I think one day I may get on there and do a TikTok, to the one that DJ, what is it, Marky J? I think this is his name. I'm not sure off the top of my head. The one that he did where he took my, Never Would Have Made It, and it's everywhere now. I'm hearing it in clubs and everywhere. So I'm like, I think it's sick. I love it. I think it's sweet. So I may do it one day.
Well, thank you. I'll be looking forward to it.
Okay, super.
My question is for Bishop Sapp. I'm saved adjacent, and I just feel like, what is your thoughts on those who are not as close to Christ as of yet, but are trying to get there, and they are using, like I use your music to help rein me in when I'm feeling that I'm not walking the path that I need to walk. What are your thoughts on that? Like, what inspirational words would you give to someone who's trying to be more Christ-like and to not be just saved adjacent, but all the way saved?
Well, you know what? I've never heard of saved adjacent before in my life. I mean, I think that's true. Because when you first said it, I was like, what the heck is she talking about? But you said I'm saved adjacent. So I think that that's a cute term. But let me just be clear. All of us are striving. None of us have arrived. None of us are perfect. All of us, you know, we have proclivities, we have struggles from the pulpit to the pew. It's a daily walk. I mean, the writer says that you are supposed to put your flesh to death daily. So every morning when you get up, you should have a mentality and a mindset to strive to be a better person, a better believer than you were the day before, you know, and that's a daily thing. It's not something that happens overnight. It's not something that happens in an instant, you know. You come to church on Sunday and everything in you changed when you got there, or when you heard the word, or when you came to the altar, or whenever. You know, it's a process. And I think that that's one of the things that, you know, many of us fail to realize and or fail to remember. You know, nobody really is going to know if they saved or not until they die. That's the truth. Because absent from the body is when you're going to be present with the Lord. So until then, all of us are a work in progress. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up when you make a mistake, when you fall, when you do things that, you know, aren't in accordance, if you will, to the word of God, or not in accordance to his will. Just get up and make a decision. I did that yesterday, but hopefully I won't do it today. And if I did it today, I did it yesterday, but hopefully I won't do it today. You just have to consistently get up, making a decision that I'm going to be a better person tomorrow than I was yesterday. And that's what it's really all about. That's what it's really all about. Yeah. That's cute though. I like that. Adjacent.
Thank you so much, Big Sean.
Oh, man.
Angie, South Carolina's finest. I love you all. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Love you too, sweetie. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Yo, I'm DJ Bay with the Core 94, Houston, Texas. My question is for Miss Angie Stone.
Hey.
How you doing, Miss Stone? I want to say—
I'm here. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Excellent. I want to say congratulations on the honors. You really deserve it. I've really been loving your music for a long time. I mean, like literally. But my question for you is, you know, so many people come to you for guidance, and I know you're a Christian and you always, you know, you really reach into the Lord when you need to seek wise counsel. But is there anybody that you go to, like personally, that we might not know of, or somebody in the industry that we might not be aware of who's saved, or who you go to when you need to seek wise counsel?
Well, there is Archbishop Duncan Williams from Africa that I usually reach out for him when I need some counsel. There is a Dr. LaTanya Powers. There is also Noel Jones, and hopefully it will be this young icon on here with me, Mr. Sapp, Dr. Sapp, because I always can use wise counsel. I'm always striving to do what is right. Like he said before, we're never going to really know until we're face to face with the King. But I'd like to think that I walk like God would want me to walk. Whenever I need to be there for someone, I want to be there in hopes that when I need someone, someone will come to my rescue. So there are people that I reach out to when I have a moment. I have an aunt, Denise Brown, who is generally my go-to person. She's a pastor as well. And when I have a weak moment, sometimes we can't pray for ourselves because we're overwhelmed and we just need someone to stand in the gap. So I've had quite a few of those moments. You know, when I lost my mom in January, that was my best friend. It was the one friend I've had all my life. And I didn't think I was going to make it, but God said, not so. You're going to make it because I built you that way. So yes, I do have people that I do go to, but ultimately when I'm afraid and when I'm really lost, there's only one person to turn to, and that's Christ. And that's real talk.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ms. Stone. My
Thank
deepest
you.
condolences also, and congratulations again.
All right, thank you so much.
Take it easy, sister. Thank you.
All right, babe.
This is J. Cole from San Antonio, sending much love and respect to both of you that are still on the line. Thank you so much. Angie, thank you so much. Marvin, it's great seeing you again, sir. I know you were here at Bishop Vasti a couple of years ago. But the question I have for both of you is this. Now, let's go back to when it all started. Angie, when it started with the rap group. Marvin, when it started, when you were whether you was preaching in grandma's kitchen or whether it was the backyard. At what point did you know that I'm on to something here? You know, because you know, when it comes to life and struggles, you got those naysayers. Boy, you really can't sing or you can't preach. Ain't nobody gonna sign you to no contract. Like, you know, you think you gonna make it. So at what point, and of course I know God's gonna be in there somewhere, but other than God being that God in life, what point did you know, you feel like, you know what, this is it. And no matter what, I'm gonna make this it stick. And this goes to both of you, and everyone left on the platform.
Man, what point did I know? I mean, I was traveling again as a preacher and a singer before the commission days. So, you know, when Fred Hammond brought me into the group commission, by that time they were already an iconic group, Grammy nominated group. And when I became a member of that group, I kind of knew at that particular point that this was something that I can do professionally for the rest of my life, simply because I grew up listening to commission. You know, I was a groupie in the group. I guess that's the best way to say it. I'll just say it. You know, I grew up listening to the group commission, and, you know, standing on the stage with guys that I grew up listening to, it gave me that confidence I needed to be able to say, yeah, I can do this. You know, I really can do this. And then to have them really pushing me. I mean, Fred, Mitchell, and Carl, they did something for me that I don't even know if they know what they did. They didn't try to pigeonhole me into being someone else, but they allowed a 22-year-old, fresh out of college boy, stand on stage and jump around with them and let me sing and do flips and cartwheels, and never said to me, hey man, you doing too much. Hey man, you out of order. Hey man, you taking my shine. Hey man, you doing this, you doing that. Like, get it, Marvin, do it. This young boy, let him jump across the stage and we'll just stand here and watch him do all the work. And, you know, the check is the check. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think I knew once I hit the stage with them that this was something that, you know, I could really make a career out of, because I had affirming voices and encouraging individuals pushing me to be my best.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Master. Sister, talk to us.
Okay, I think for me, what really prompted me to do it was my first loss. I ran for Miss Teenage Black South Carolina. I ended up getting second runner-up. And I prided myself on doing something that no one else has done. I wrote my own song, and I tried to always be different because I realized that different stood out. But it was a voice that I heard once I was got the second run up. I heard a voice say this, I've got something better in store for you. And while everybody was crying and going, that ain't right, no, you know, I was smiling and people didn't understand why I was smiling. But I think it was at that moment that I realized, I listened and I heard God's voice. And he says, I got something better in store for you. And I didn't have a clue what it was, but it was shortly after that my group, The Sequence, was discovered by Sylvia Robinson. And I was able to say, this is what it meant. My mom was crying, everybody was crying in the audience. I'm like, there's no need to cry because I heard a voice that there's something better in store. So I believe at that point in my life, I knew that I had a discerning spirit, and I heard what I heard, and I just trusted I trusted it. And as a result, I was 17 years old when we got discovered. And at that point, the rest is history. Here it is. That was in 1979. So I had been in the mirror every day singing Aretha Franklin and Smokey Robinson tracks in my tears. And they would ask me, well, what you want to be when you grow up? And they laughed at me, but I said, I'm going to be a star. And I didn't know why I said it, because my mama was a nurse. I knew that was a field I could go in, but I wanted to be an actress more than anything. But I just think I really believed that my dream was real. And I tell everybody all the time, we can touch our dreams.
And I want to say this real quick. Although we may have been second runner up, I see the first runner up is known as being honored as an icon. That's all I'm going to say about that right there, my sister. You got the icon award. She may got first place, but you, my sister, you have an amazing job. And we love you so much. And thank you for taking the time. Thank both of you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
How are you feeling, Miss Angie and Mr. Marvin Sapp? How are you? Congratulations on your win. I actually interviewed Marvin Sapp years ago. Me and my mother, we had dinner with him and Sony Records in the back of the church.
Okay.
That was a life-changing experience to hear you speak. My question would be for you two is that it's been such a whirlwind that we've been living in, and the youth, they're trying to find their way. They're trying to find their way to legacy status. Obviously, for you guys, it has been a lot of grooming. It has taken time. But we're living in a world where everything is so instant. Everything is with a touch of a button, and sacrifices. A lot of people are sacrificing their souls in a sense of doing things that they're not truly happy with. What would you say to those young individuals that trying to find their way? They don't want to make those decisions that is gonna make them unhappy. But what do you say to those people?
Well, Marvin, I can go ahead and get mine out of the way real quick. What I would say to those people is you got to be careful the way that you're moving. For a very long time, it took me a minute to accept, even with gospel music, the changes that the youth were making, going from traditional gospel music into the mainstream of what R&B, soul, and everything was, and trying to mesh all of that together for the sake of, being accepted. And I used to often wonder, in the heart of man or the soul of man, even though you're trying to fuse the two, are you getting it twisted by allowing yourself to think that if I do it this way, it's more acceptable? And I mean, I'm still searching for the answers for that. But what I would say to the younger generation is be careful how you're moving, and don't get twisted or get caught up with the concept of you can make it appeal to you and to your liking, and therefore you can accept it because it's what you choose to do. And I'm not taking anything away from traditional, but I just really feel like moving into the future, we cannot cut loose of all of the grassroots of what has made us wholesome. If that answers your question.
I want to add to that as well. I think that what Angie said was exceptional. But I also want to add as well that I think, I'm raising millennials. So yes. I understand it. I have, my children are 27, 24, and 22. And one of the things that I teach them on a consistent basis is that life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And no matter how we may try to expedite things and try to get them quick, fast, in a hurry, you will never appreciate something that you got fast because you have not learned how to manage it and maintain it.
Thank you.
Those are the two things that I teach my kids all the time. I can remember, when I first got married, oh my God, so many years ago. I would have been married like 29 years if my wife would have lived. So 29 years ago, when I first got married, we had a 1986 Chevy Nova. It was horrible, horrible. It stunk, it was rusty, it was the worst. Now, mind you, I'm still traveling all over the world, singing the gospel. I'm overseas, everything, but I'm driving this raggedy car. This car is horrible, right? And I never forget, you know, crying to God and really saying, this don't make sense. You know, I got records out. I shouldn't have to live like this. And I remember God clearly speaking to me one day and saying, Marvin, if you want a better car, take care of this car like you want to take care of the better one. So I started taking it to the car wash. And when I took it to the car wash, I would get out and I would tell them, I want y'all to clean it inside and out. And they'd look at me like, are you crazy? This car got rust on. No, I want the rust to shine. You know, I want it to be cleaned inside and out. Right, and maybe about 2 years later, I ended up getting a much better car. Actually, I bought a BMW a couple years later. My point is that what God was teaching me is, he was teaching me, Marvin, take care of things at this level so that when I take you to the next level, you know how to manage and you know how to maintain it. And I think that that's what young people, millennials, Gen Xers, they need to learn and know. Everybody want to be a boss. Everybody want to secure the bag. I get all of that. But at the same token, what are the principles that you are learning on your way so that once you get the bag and once you secure the bag remains full? And I think that that's the thing that I would tell, you know, young people in this day and time, that, you know, this is not a sprint. It's a marathon. You want to get it gradually so that once you get to that place that you can manage it, you can maintain it, and you can keep it forever. I like my lifestyle, but the reason why I like my lifestyle is because on my way up to accomplishing my goals in music, my goals in education, my goals in real estate, my goals in entrepreneurship, I did things to ensure that I can live the type of life that I want to live for the rest of my life. I wasn't spending it on all of the accoutrements that come along with success. I was putting stuff away so that I can make sure, you know, the bag was secured for a lifetime and not just secured for a season that I was hot. So take your time, build, be patient, because if you do that, things are going to be better later. I promise you.
Beautiful.
I got to jump in
Thank
here
you so much
and say that the marathon continues, but we have run out of time for our press conference for today. We do have some thank yous, though, that we'd like to make. I'd like to once more congratulate our 2021 Black Music Honors Awards winners. They are incredible. Angie Stone, Soul Music Icon Award; Genuine, the Urban Icon Award; Bishop Marvin Sapp, the Gospel Music Icon Award; for Ramsey Lewis, the Legends Award, and the Legacy Award going to the National Museum of African American Music. We also really want to thank the members of the press who are here today. Your questions were interesting and insightful, and it was exciting for us to see so many energetic, excited people who are getting the word out on this and other important events that affect our community. We want you guys to continue to spread the word about the 2021 Black Music Honors, and please be sure to watch on Saturday, June 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern on Bounce TV, and airing in national broadcast syndication from June 5th through July 4th. You can check your local listings for a station in your market, and you'll also be receiving an email with a list of TV stations that are airing the show. We want as many people as possible to see this incredible program. And on behalf of Central City Productions and the team at JL Media PR, they are the agency for Black Music Honors, we want to thank you for always supporting us. We appreciate each and every one of you, especially our special guest, Angie. You've really been hanging in. We appreciate it. Bishop Sapp making the effort to get to the doctor and get here too. We appreciate all of that. And we want you all to have a great day today. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. And Mr. Jackson, once again, love you guys, Central City, for the honor. All of you have been wonderful, and I appreciate you all.
Thanks, Don. We love you, man. Appreciate y'all. Thank everybody. Y'all be blessed.